Hello guys, the DB Grinder here, back at it again with another video, and this time we have Butterball versus Sean Killian, and these are going to be $25 money matches post-SUDA, so this is like YCS Orlando, YCS Birmingham format, and also make sure to check out Sean Killian's YouTube channel, link down below in the description, and make sure to check out the Coliseum Discord, link down below in the description if you want to play for money yourself, and we will see Butterball win the rock, paper, scissors, shoot, and they will decide to go first, 40 versus 42. Opening hands, we have Engraver, Mitsurugi, Prayers, Called by, Nib, and then Serpent. They have Cross, Veiler, Imperm, Sword, and Nib. Okay, so we probably just start with the Engraver here, I assume. I guess I gotta go over these cards because I haven't actually gone over them like on the channel yet. But this card says when you activate this card, you can also tribute one reptile monster in your hand or field for cost. Apply one of these effects, or if you tributed a monster at activation, you can apply both of them in sequence. So it says you can add one of the engine monsters from the deck to the hand, one of the Mitsurugi monsters, and then the other effect is you can take 800 damage. Then you can special summon one Mitsurugi monster from your hand or grave, but it cannot attack directly. You can only use this card once per turn. It's also a quick play spell. So if they try to like imperm your card, you can chain this, dodge it, and just go like insanely plus. So activate the Engraver effect. Go ahead, search out Tract, and then Night Sword Serpent whenever it's sent Engraver by card effect, special it. Then go activate Tract, go ahead grab out the Lacrima, then discard Night Sword Serpent, Serpent effect, special summon itself out, and then we go normal Lacrima effect to go ahead dump an Engraver, overlay now to make King of the Feral Imps, which allows us to detach and search a reptile, so we use that effect, and then in response they imperm it. But if they knew the deck, they would know that they should have activated Imperm or Veiler on summon of this, because once you do it in response to the effect, you open yourself up to prayer really bad there. So now they can go ahead and tribute, and now this will allow them to search out a Saji, and then lose 800 special Saji. Then I'll go over the effects once they get the other search too, off the King of the Feral Imps. So now, what Saji does is when this card is normal summon or special summon, or if this card is tributed, so it can be tributed for Nib, Deception, one of the rituals, you know, like a bunch of stuff. You can add one of your Mitsurugi Speller Traps from the decks of the hand. Then its other effect is, if another reptile monster or monsters you control destroy a battle or card effect, you can tribute this card instead. You can only use each effect of this once per turn. Then the ritual monster we search, the Omni no, Murakumo, no, Mitsurugi, these names are not real. You could ritual summon this card by using the ritual spell. And then if this card is special summon, you can destroy all monsters the opponent controls. When your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect, you can activate this effect. Your opponent can discard one, or that effect is negated. So pretty much, activate this card when your opponent activates any card, make them discard the worst card in their hand. Pretty much what it says. And then, if this card is tributed, you can add one Mitsurugi card from the deck to the hand, then you can special summon this card back out. Doesn't say from the graveyard you can play Shifter in this deck and summon it back out from the banish pile. You can only use each effect of this card once per turn. And then, okay, now they're going to go activate Saji effect to go search out for the ritual spell, and they say okay to that, which, that's crazy, because this is definitely what we should have stopped, like almost guaranteed, because the ritual spell is crazy. So this card can be used to ritual summon any reptile ritual monster. You can activate one of these effects, but you can only use each effect of this card once per turn. So like you can only ritual from hand once and ritual from deck once per turn. So you can ritual summon one reptile ritual monster from your deck by tributing reptile monsters from your hand or field whose total levels equal it. So you can summon a ritual from deck by tributing from hand or field. Then the other effect is you can ritual summon from your hand by tributing up to 2 from deck. So, yeah, it's pretty much like the opposites. Like, summon a ritual from hand by tributing from deck, summon a ritual from deck by tributing from hand and field. Now we're going to go activate ritual spell, and we want to summon from hand here by dumping 2. So we're going to dump a Saji and a Kuzanji. So the Kuzanji effect, when this card is normal summon, special summon, or if it's tributed, you can target one Mitsurugi card in your graveyard or banishment and add it back to your hand. And then, you know, you can't target itself to add back. Then its other effect is, if another reptile monsters would destroy a battle or card effect, you could tribute this card instead. Then both are once per turn. So now, new chain link, they're going to go ahead and activate the Kusanji effect to add back the ritual spell, because we can activate the ritual spell again. But we actually start with the Engraver effect now. Okay. So you added prayers to hand? No. The ritual spell. Okay. So go ahead, summon out Engraver. And then Engraver into the Requiem. And then now they have the Requiem effect to go ahead and tribute and then bring out Engraver from the deck. Okay, that's fine. And then go ahead and make a sequence and sequence effect. Go ahead and shuffle back Engraver, Requiem, Engraver. Summon out the Desiree, and then so let me read the ritual spells. So they go on summon activate Nib, which it's interesting that they're doing it now. They're gonna go ahead and chain this to force them to discard one, so they discard cross, tribute the field, pass over the token, and then new chain link. They don't have to Desiree if they don't want to, because they could just resolve this to summon and pop, but that I guess also could be playing into like a Bestial, because Bestials are really good against this deck, which kind of sucks that Bestials are really good against this deck, because Bestials are being main decked right now. Activate both graveyard effects. Okay, so shuffle back sequence, out the copy of Nib, and then go ahead and search for the trap, and then summon back out from the graveyard. Now, the trap says, when your opponent activates a card or effect, so any card or effect, tribute 1 level 5 or higher reptile monster for cost, negate the effect, and if you do, destroy that card. And then its graveyard effect is you can banish this card from the graveyard, then target 1 reptile monster in your graveyard, then special summon it, and if you do, tribute 1 other monster you control. So you can also use the graveyard effect on a follow-up turn to also try to beat something like an Imperm. Then it says you can only use 1 effect of this card per turn and only once that turn. That's why, you know, on like the follow-up turn, you can use it to try to beat like Imperm. So, searches the trap, then activate the ritual spell to summon out a ritual from deck. So we're going to bring out the Futso no Matema no Mitsurugi by going ahead and tributing. And then we just go set the trap card, set called bypass. And what this card does says, if your opponent special summons a monster, except during the damage step, you can target a reptile monster in your graveyard except for a copy of itself and special summon it. You can only use this effect of this card once per chain. So you can use this card like 5 times per turn. Like just spam out everything for follow-up. And also using it to summon this card, like it was properly summoned. So now you can summon this, destroy all monsters the opponent controls, force them to discard a card again. You know, so like, you know, there's gonna be a lot of good stuff going on here. Then it has the same effect as the other one, where if this card is tributed, you can add 1 of your Mitsurugi cards from the deck to the hand, then special summon this card back out. You can only use that effect once per turn. Then they draw into Fualos. Then they go normal sword effect. They go activate to go ahead and shut that down, because with a normal sword, that's usually a sign of a pretty weak start. So they're going to go ahead, activate, tribute, negate, and destroy, and then activate the graveyard effect, which will go ahead, search, and special summon back out. And we just see them admit defeat there. So on to game number 2. Now we'll see Sean Killian go first. Opening hands, we have Fualos, Perulia, Omnino, and then Great Profanication, Prayers. They have Imperm, Veiler, Node, Talents, and Tract. Also, I went over like every card in the archetype in that game. Like, yeah, there isn't any more cards that are played. It's just those 5 that are played. So wait, is it 5? No, it's like 7, right? Yeah, 7, because the spells, both rituals, then the trap, and the main deck monsters, like the effect monsters. So they drop Perulia and draw phase. They go Tract, add Lurie, discard Lurie effect, special summon itself out. Yeah, and this Perulia is not looking too good with their hand, but I mean, technically they could have normal summoned Node. Node plus Lacrima would allow them to make duo drive. On summon a Lurie, they drop Fualos, then they make the Requiem, draw into ritual spell, talents to look at hand, and then they hit back the ritual monster. Sure, set Imperm, pass, they draw Lacrima. So now we'll go main phase, normal Lacrima, effect, and we already had to play 2. We could have went like draw phase, activate, search, and then you have the ritual monster plus the ritual spell that contribute from deck, and that'll allow you to add back, which will also allow you to grab another prayer for follow-up, or the ritual, so you could grab like a normal summon. You could grab the ritual spell, and then, you know, all of a sudden now you have multiple bodies, plus a ritual setup, so then you can make Moon. Yeah, like, you know, you can start getting advantage off that. But we dump Engraver, then they go Requiem effect, bring out Lacrima, dump Fiendsmith in Paradise, and now we make our own Requiem effect, tribute go special, and then bring out Engraver from the deck. And then I don't think they're gonna like Fiendsmith in Paradise to that. Yeah, I was gonna say that'd be a pretty bad Fiendsmith in Paradise. It seems like we go ahead and make Necro Equip, and then on that they're gonna go ahead and Fiendsmith in Paradise. Then in response, chain Prayer to go search. That'll grab out the Omnino, and the reason why they do it in response is because if the opponent wants to Ash Blossom this or something, then, you know, we'll get to draw off the Necro Equip. So if the opponent messes up, which a lot of people mess up when they play against archetypes for like the first time, which I don't know if it's their first time playing against it, but they did have to like they did ask to like read the ritual spell. You know, they waited to imperm King of the Feral Imps till they use the effects, so like seems like it's their first time. Shuffle back, send, and then activate the ritual to go ahead and send from deck, and then summon from hand. So we send the Kuzanji and the Night Sword Serpent. So new chain link, we're gonna go chain link 1, Kuzanji target ritual spell, Serpent chain link 2, and then Omni no chain link 3. So pop Lacrima, add back ritual spell, summon out the Night Serpent, and then we activate Engraver effect, shuffle back Engraver, special summon itself out, leaving the Requiem plus Lacrima engraved to set up trap for our opponent's turn. And our opponent's already pretty far behind here too, so that's really good. Now we're going to go ahead and make Sequence, and then activate Sequence effect, they imperm, and then in response chain the Omni no, which will force them to discard, so we make them lose their Veiler. Then activate the ritual spell, go ahead and summon out the Futso from the deck, and then tribute the Omni no, and then Omni no effect, go ahead search, and then special summon itself out, so we search out Prayers, and then go ahead and summon out. Now this card is once per turn, so we can't use it here to go for game, because in battle phase you could activate this, tribute this, go ahead search, and then special summon one back out. Now the one you summon back out cannot attack directly, but this will summon itself back out, which gives you an extra 2,000 damage. And you can do that with this card too, which gives you an extra 3,200 damage. So sometimes you can use those to be able to go for game. Then we go main phase 2, or even like the graveyard effect of this can help you go for game 2 pretty easily. Then they go ahead and make the Abalo Aq, the Lightless Shadow, which I think this is a card that we will start seeing more and more of in the new format. It doesn't seem that broken in any of the decks currently, but I feel like people are going to try it. Like, we might see this in like a Malice deck. But it says, during the main phase quick effect, you can discard one card, then activate one of these effects. So discards for cost, then choose which one to activate. You can destroy a card on the field. Or, you can banish this card until the end phase, and if you do, special summon one light or dark monster from your graveyard. So, you can use that. Usually what you do is, like, if Sequence resolved, make Desiree, make the Agumde, and then you can use this to summon back out Agumde. Then you still have Lacrima and the Requiem, which that probably won't really happen, though, because, you know, you would have shuffled back, so I guess that's not going to come up too much. But I've seen people do that. But you can use this to summon back out any light or dark. So maybe we see this in like Malice to help bring out Whitebinder. So like there's more ways to bring that card out. Or if they try to like stop Whitebinder, we could chain this to pop Whitebinder, so that way it still resolves. I don't know. Then its other effect is, during your standby phase, you can draw cards equal to the number of total different monster types among the monsters in your graveyard, and then place the same number of cards from your hand onto the bottom of the deck in any order. So that effect's kind of crazy, right? Like, you could literally end up just being like, okay, I have Aqua, Wing Beast, Fiend, Reptile. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 in the graveyard right now. So during my standby phase, I will draw 4, then put back 4. So it's kind of like, it's like almost like a Pot of Prosperity. So go ahead, activate, get rid of the trap, and then special summon back out from the graveyard, and then set Prayer. We discard Trap, I guess that way we don't play into like, I guess we don't need that interruption. Like, we have this that'll summon back out a board wipe. We have Lacrima that can summon, and then that will bring us like out the Fiendsmith in Paradise. We have tons of follow-up. Yeah, may as well just play like safer here than trying to like, you know, use an extra negate that we really just don't need. Then go ahead, pass, and we will have a card to discard on the next turn because this will activate. Special summon back out, effect, add back, and we can discard that. And also if we like tribute one of these rituals for the spell, then we can search, then we get those effects to search. So infinite follow-up. Pass, they draw Lurie, and they admit defeat, and then they said run back, and they said yep. Okay, so now we'll see Sean Killian win the rock, paper, scissors, shoot, and they will decide to go first. Opening hands, we have Nib, Engraver, Kuzanji, Fualos, and Prayers. They have X, Lacrima, Lurie, Fualos, and Node. So go main phase, normal Lurie, drop Fualos, make Requiem, draw into Futso, pass, draw Engraver. So now they have Requiem, Chainlink 1, Fualos, Chainlink 2 at any point, or, you know, Chainlink 2, Chainlink 3, whatever. So now they start off with the Engraver. Discard, go ahead, search out for the Fiendsmith Tract, and then activate Tract to go ahead, search and discard, grab out Lurie, discard Lurie, Lurie effect, special summon itself out, and then use Lurie to make Requiem, and then Requiem Chainlink 1, Requiem Chainlink 2, Fualos Chainlink 3, summon Lacrima from hand, and then they summon out Lacrima from deck. They get to draw in the Ash Blossom. Imagine they drew Fiendsmith in Paradise off that. They'd be so sick. Then they're going to go Lacrima Chainlink 1, Lacrima Chainlink 2, dump Fiendsmith in Paradise. They dump Engraver, even though we already have Engraver in the grave. Okay. Sure. I guess we're just trying to make a Desiree with the thing. Prayer, Tribute, because if we want to make Desiree, we go like Engraver, shuffle back, and then we have like 3, so then we get to keep Lacrima in rotation, I guess. Activate Prayer, Tribute to go ahead and try to search. They Ash Blossom that. We'll search End Special. And then we still get the Futso effect since it was tributed for cost. Now we'll go ahead and search out and grab out the Ritual spell from the deck to the hand. Then normal summon out Kuzanji effect to add back the Futso. And then, okay, we're deciding if we want to go Ritual spell next, which we do. Okay, so summon from hand by tributing the Night Sword Serpent and the Sanji. And then bring out the Futso, and then activate Saji Chainlink 1, Night Sword Chainlink 2, special summon out, and then go ahead and search for one of these spell or traps. So we grab out Prayers from the deck to the hand, and then they go activate Fiendsmith in Paradise, banish, dump Desiree, Desiree effect to go ahead and out that, and then now we go Engraver, shuffle back an Engraver, special summon out. So now we're going up against 0 interruptions, but they do not know that. Now we make a Light and Dark Chaos Angel, which we know how hard it can be for decks to deal with this card efficiently. Then Chaos Angel effect can go banish Lacrima, and they get to draw into Sword, because they are under Fualos. Then go ahead and go up into Sequence. They draw Engraver. Wow, there's no hand traps at all. Then Sequence effect, go ahead, shuffle back, and then summon out the Desiree. They draw into Cross, and then link off into Agumde. They draw into Nib. Okay, there we go. Activate Nib, and then go ahead, tribute the Agumde, which, I mean, what do they plan on doing here? I was going to say they could have, like, chain Agumde, summon out Desiree. And then Desiree, like, it would have had more attack on it, would have had more defense on it, so you just make a bigger token overall, which is already better. And then you could have also Desiree effect out this, and then attack directly, or force them to put this in defense. But now, just go ahead, pass, draw Nib. Yeah, I don't know, they played pretty dangerous in that Fualos. We were just hoping they didn't draw any hand traps, but, like, probably could have just tried playing more of a grind game with them. Now they will go activate the Engraver effect, discard, grab out Tract, but I mean, we still have Nib, Light and Dark Chaos Angel, Lacrima into Agumde, into Desiree. So Engraver in the Tract, Engraver, shuffle back Desiree, go ahead, chain Prayer to summon, and then summon out the Futso, and then they summon out Engraver, and now we get Futso effect to go ahead and summon back out from the graveyard the Kuzanji, then Kuzanji effect to add back the Prayer. Okay, we still have this that can summon out the Saji, and then Sanji, go ahead and search out the Ritual spell whenever they special summon again. But I was going to say their next play might just be to send this off so that way they don't get that. But no, they go ahead and make a Necro Quip, and then make SP, and then SP effect target Desiree, and they just let it resolve. Yeah, so we're just not using this because we wanted to save Sequence into Agumde. Okay, maybe they could have read when they summoned Necro Quip that maybe we should have done this. I guess it's like fine not to though, right? Otherwise they just like SP target Desiree, you chain Desiree, they chain SP, and like I guess that's like something you have to deal with anyways. I guess it's like okay. Tract in the Lurie. And then now I think maybe they're wondering if they want to make a Sequence of their own. Yeah, go ahead, summon out Sequence, Sequence effect. Go ahead, shuffle back Lurie, Engraver, Requiem, and then summon out Desiree. Activate the effect to go ahead and summon back out Saji from the graveyard. Saji effect now to go search. I feel like they waited a while to do this. Could have done that in Sequence summon too. So now we have Prayers plus Ritual spell in hand. Then they go into the Agumde. And then now they're going to go dump Detonator, special out X, and then special out Sword. Sword effect goes search, grab out Ice Ryzeal from the deck to the hand. activate Cross, and then we go activate Nib. So go ahead, tribute everything, and the Chaos Sigil is only unaffected by opponent's effects, so this will be tributed even though it's made with Light and Dark. They go chain the Agumde, bring out Desiree, yeah, like you're supposed to do. Give it more attack and everything, more attack, more defense. Also give you the option the Desiree effect to go wipe. Now new chain link. They're going to go Desiree chain link 1, and then chain link 2, we can go ahead and use our Futso effect since it hasn't been tributed yet this turn. So that would go ahead and allow us to search and special summon out. So grab out the Omnino and then summon out. But also, this is summon 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because we summoned this card twice. Yeah, so they could actually drop Nib on us back. So Desiree is going to go ahead and out the Nib. And then they said math real quick. Activate Nib. Go ahead, tribute. Pass over the token. And then normal summon Ice. Activate Ice effect, go special, bring out X'd. Yeah, and then they have overlay on the duo. You know, can't X search because they control Nib. Duo effect to attach, duo effect to detach and go search. Grab out Ice Ryzeal, and then grab out X Ryzeal, which X Ryzeal will probably just be a discard, and then whatever we draw off Cross could also be used as a discard, assuming that we're trying to go for game, if it's enough for the math that they did. No discard, special back out. And then overlay, make the detonator effect to attach. So what do I know in hand? They know like everything besides the engraver. Then battle phase, attack over token, and then they just go attack. Wait. Oh, they can't attack because SP! Oh! I forgot about that, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, wait a second. If they knew that they could get to a game state where they would be able to like go for game, then shouldn't we have used Lacrima early to summon a Gumday just to have an extra body so that way they can't go for game? But they were never able to go for game because SP, yeah. I guess like SP is like pretty bad against this deck overall, because like you just get to have a next turn, and this deck always has like infinite follow-up. Lacrima try to summon out, and then they just cross negate it, draw in the Imperm, which is broken, just go ahead Imperm the detonator. Activate Ritual Spell, go ahead, summon out the Omnino from hand by dumping 2 from deck. New Chain Link, Saji 1, Kuzanji 2, target Ritual Spell, Omni 3, and then they go cross to negate. So add back the Ritual Spell, go ahead, grab out the Trap. Remember, they do have Desiree under this though, so they do have Desiree Sun still, which is scary. Activate Engraver effect, discard, go ahead, search, grab out the Fiendsmith in Paradise. Okay, so they just play the 1 tracked in their deck. And then Engraver effect, shuffle back the Agumde, special summon out, and then sequence effect to equip to the Engraver, and then Engraver effect, send, and then they can get the Desiree effect, which will allow them to shuffle back sequence to out Engraver, and then chain the Omnino, force them to discard 1, activate Ritual Spell, summon out an Omnino from deck by tributing the Omnino off field, then Omnino effect, special summon itself out, well, search, then special summon itself out, grab out Asaji. Battle phase, attack over the duo drive, attack over the copy of Nib, and then we will just go activate Prayer, sure, special summon out the Futso from the graveyard, and then set the trap, set Fiendsmith in Paradise. Not sure why we did that in battle. Could have also just done that in the end phase. I guess it doesn't really matter though. Well, actually it might, right? Like, I guess we know the last card in hand's not Nib. We know that it's Ice. But pass, they draw Ash Blossom. Then activate Cross effect. We're going to go Chain to go ahead and negate and destroy that. Sure, and then we're not going to summon that back out. Yeah, we're just going to leave it in the graveyard for Futso to be able to summon it out. So that way, whenever our opponent special summons, we can go ahead, summon this out, and pop their whole field. So normal Ice effect, Chain to go ahead and make them rip the card from their hand. They bring out X'd, and then now they're going to go X'd effect, Chain Link 1, Futso, Chain Link 2, special summon back out the Omnino, and then they can go ahead search out for Sword. And now how much engine have they gone through? They've gone through all 3 X'd, they've gone through 2 Ice. So Sword can't even grab anything then, because they don't have an extra special summon anymore. Yeah, so this popping is just already game. And our follow-up would have been probably too much for them anyways, once again. So go ahead, effect, wipe, and then they admit defeat. So on to the next game now. We will go ahead and see Sean Killian decide to go first. And then opening hands, we have Omnino, Engraver, Kuzanji, Ritual Spell, Nib. And they have Ice, Node, Ash Blossom, Bonfire, Sword. And then they go main phase, normal ice, ice effect goes special, bring out X, X effect goes search, grab out sword from the decks of the hand, and then go ahead and make moon, and then make Requiem, and then Requiem effect, tribute goes special. That'll bring out Lacrima, Lacrima effect, dump Engraver, Requiem effect to equip, and then turn that into a Necro equip, and then Engraver effect, shuffle back special. Sure, probably should have went like effect to equip, and then activate Engraver effect. Just to see if they have a Bestial, and they decided to wait, because if they have like Magma Mutt, then they can wait and then hit this on their turn. So that could have been a little bit different, but activate Nibbler on summon, tribute, pass over a token. Yeah, maybe we could have saw if they got greedy there, but if they make DDD, we just like auto lose the game. So maybe they're thinking like, oh, I can actually like potentially push through an end board like this. Sword in the X, dump Mirror Logic, special X, overlay, make detonator, detonator effect to attach, special node, node effect, discard, special back out sword, overlay those into duo drive effect to attach, duo drive effect to detach and go search. That's going to grab out the Ryzeal cross from the deck to the hand and the ice Ryzeal. And then activate cross effect to put back and then draw into a solemn judgment. And they also have Lacrima, Requiem set up. So now they go set judgment, and then pass turn they draw Ash Blossom, activate the ritual spell to summon one from hand by tributing from deck, and they go ahead and judgment that. Couldn't they have just Ash that? Like, you can, right? Because this tributes 2 from deck. But I guess, like, wait. That'd be the same, right? Tributing from deck would be the same as sending from deck. I'm trying to think, what kind of scenario have we tributed from deck? I'm trying to think. Like advanced ritual art? I don't know how that card works with Ash though. I feel like that card was played before Ash. I'm actually not sure. I guess that's something I gotta look into. Like that's I'll comment it down below as a pinned comment. And I'll go ahead and see. Then they go Engraver effect, discard, go ahead, grab out track, because that's a very important thing to know. So Engraver in the track, and then activate track. They Ash Blossom it, and then activate Lacrima to go ahead and summon out Requiem. Requiem effect, they Ash Blossom it, so the Lacrima is supposed to be in deck right now, because it did shuffle itself back to do that. Then they go Chain Detonator to pop the nib, but they just left it engraved, because they thought they were going to get to summon that out there, so they were just saving time. And then normal summon out Kuzanji, effect to add back the Ritual Monster, they pop that, and then negate. Yeah, so maybe they should have realized, like, even if I top deck and out to Requiem here, I still lose the game, right? So what is our win condition then? Our opponent messing up? Maybe Judgment? Well, I guess I didn't know Judgment Ash. I guess, like, that's the diff. Like, that's the difference. I don't know. Maybe there was a world where they hold Nib, force them to, like, if they don't make DDD because they already did the Nib check, and then they decide to make Desiree, and you punish them extremely hard with a copy of Nib. But I guess maybe their hand was like strong enough to potentially push through the end board there, so I think it's like okay. But if their hand was a little bit weaker, then you probably just hold Nib and just pray they mess up. Then we have Judgment, Nib, Engraver, Prayers, Lacrima. They have Ash Blossom, Sword, Fualos, Ash Blossom, Tract. So we go main phase, normal Lacrima, effect, dump Engraver, drop Fualos. And then we make Requiem. They draw into Engraver, Requiem effect, okay. Bring out Engraver. They draw on the node, Requiem effect to equip, sure, and then go ahead and make Necro equip. They draw into Engraver, Engraver effect, discard goes search, grab out Tract, and then activate Necro equip effect to draw into Ash Blossom. Okay, activate Tract. Wow, we're doing a lot here under this Fualos. Add Lurie, discard Lurie, Lurie effect, special summon itself out. And then link those off to make Sequence too. And then they draw the new Mulch Army, which, if you control no cards, you can activate this card. Each time your opponent special summons a monster from the graveyard or banishment, you can draw one. And then it has like the same restrictions as every other Charmy. So now they go Sequence effect to go ahead and shuffle back. And then bring out Desiree. They get to draw one. They forgot to draw one off Desiree being summoned. Then they go ahead, draw on the Veiler off the Agunde, And then go Set Judgment, and then end phase. How many cards do they have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so they just have to shuffle back 1. So hit back tracked. Oh no! Oh no. They draw on the sword. I guess like there were definitely like worse hits in the hand that they could have had. Go ahead, activate Engraver. I mean, like tracked was like an okay hit. Like it actually wasn't that bad because if they played 2 tracked, which they probably do, then they could have went Necro Equip to try to draw 1. But now they just go Engraver. Go ahead, search out tracked. I was gonna say it's also like not that bad because we just searched tracked anyways, so it's like it's whatever. Tracked, add, and then discard, effect, special summon out, and then go ahead and make the Requiem effect, tribute goes special, and they said okay, and then in response, chain the Nihilus there, and then they go chain the Agumde, so go ahead, special out Desiree, then chain Lacrima, oh yeah, we have to chain that also, otherwise they get a draw. This card is pretty solid. I don't know how much play it'll actually see. I haven't got to test it very much yet. I've been testing like the new decks, not really testing like the more charmy. I've been mainly playing game 1s. So they bring out Desiree with that equipped, and they have Requiem into Lacrima and the trap. Now they're gonna go Engraver, shuffle back, special summon itself out, and then activate Requiem effect to equip. And then they're going to go Engraver effect, try to send Desiree, chain Desiree to shut that down. Yeah, because they have Nib, so they can get Desiree effect to send later. Oh, I guess like Requiem and the trap doesn't even do anything, right? Because we set up our Desiree. Unless we play 2. Which I actually wouldn't put fully past them. This deck has a lot of extra deck space. Like a lot of free extra deck space. Like I think this build with the Fiendsmith stuff has like 4 extra deck spots that are like pretty free. Like very free. Then they go ahead and make Sequence, and then Sequence effect, they go ahead and fuse back, and then that'll go ahead and bring out the Desiree, then go ahead and make the Agumde, then they're going to go Desiree effect, shuffle back Sequence to out Desiree, and then activate Desiree effect to go ahead shuffle back the Agumde to target their Agumde, chain their Agumde, summon out Desiree. A lot of Desiree going on. The normal summon out Sword effect goes search, grab out the X Ryzeal, and now they can dump the Evil Swarm Ouroboros to summon out X Ryzeal. This is a card that we're going to see a lot more over the next like 5 months, I'm guessing, because with the new Twins of the Eclipse, you can summon this card twice in 1 turn. If you play plugin, you can summon this card 3 times in 1 turn. And I mean, come on, if you can do send 1 random card from your opponent's hand to the graveyard, potentially, 1, 2, 3 times per turn, that's pretty good. Like, they have to hand trap you, so people that are playing like the Tenpai Striker deck and stuff, I feel like a deck like that will probably become less popular or have to change its ways on how it's played. Like, they might have to just main deck like 3 Nalias, 3, well, I don't even know if you can main deck this card. This card is pretty awkward to main deck, but definitely main deck 3 Fualos, maybe main deck 3 of this card, I don't know. It depends how popular the hand rip gets, and also how popular a card like Plugin will be, right? How popular is the Pure build versus the Fiendsmith build, because right now we have a lot more Fiendsmith, but maybe something like that changes once we get to Twins of the Eclipse, because Twin of the Eclipse is a lot better in the Pure build. So they summon Duo, then they go Duo effect, they go Chain Requiem, they go Chain Ash, then they go Chain Nib. So tribute the field, pass over the token there to use Desiree effect to send this turn. Now from here, they go special summon out Node effect, discard Engraver, special summon back out Sword, overlay to make a detonator, then they judgment the summon of the detonator there. And I guess this turned out like pretty good for allowing our opponent to draw like infinite cards. They have nothing in their graveyard set up as an interruption here. Nothing we have to be afraid of in the grave. They have Engraver for follow-up, though. But they have Ash, Veiler, Sword in hand. Obviously, we don't know about those cards. We have Engraver in the graveyard also, but we also have a prayer that we can use. Like the prayer as the card. Engraver, shuffle back, special summon out, and then go ahead and make Requiem. Requiem effect, tribute to go special. And they allow it to go through. So bring out Lacrima effect. Okay. I guess it's fine. Like, what does this really make? We've gone through Desiree already, too, so we don't have to be afraid of the trap card. Lacrima, go ahead, dump Engraver, activate Prayer to add, the Ash Blossom it, normal summon out Ash Blossom, and then make the Agumde, and then Agumde effect to try to go ahead and bring out Desiree, and they do have Valor for that. And you could argue that they shouldn't have done this in main phase, but they wanted to like sequence equip, Requiem equip, and then go ahead and out the token. Because they never even wrote down exactly how much attack and defense it has, but I assume that's what they were trying to do. Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like you should be writing down the stats of the token, but yeah, they wanted to beat over this, which they could have just done with the Agumde and the Desiree. So maybe they should have played safer around Valor there, since, like, I mean, our opponent did draw a lot of cards, and at no point on our last turn did we force Valor, because, like, are you really gonna Valor sequence when if you let this resolve, then they no longer have the trap, you get to draw off Desiree summon, you get to draw off the Agumde summon if they go for it, so you can draw 2 more cards, and you don't have to deal with one of the interruptions. So you're trading 1 interruption for 1 interruption, but then you get to draw 2 more, and you can just hold Valor for a following turn, assuming that it gets that far. Pass, they draw Ash Blossom, and now they will go main phase, activate Engraver, shuffle back, special summon out, and then they're going to go ahead and make a Requiem, and then they have the Requiem effect. We Ash Blossom that, and then activate the Agumde since we played in the Talents now. Go ahead, bring out Desiree. We also summon this in defense. Could have summoned it in attacks, that way they can't beat over it, right? Wait, it only gains 18 here. So never mind, because we don't have sequence equipped to it to make it at the 58. Okay, so yeah, summon it in defense, sure. So they can beat over it either way. So now they go special sword effect goes search. We're thinking on that. We go ahead and Desiree to shut that down, then switch token to attack. Couldn't they have just like switch token to attack, battle phase beat over, they Desiree out the token, then we just go like main phase 2 sword and then start playing? But I guess they have follow up. I guess maybe they're thinking like they can't beat the follow up. Desiree effect, shuffle back sequence, out the sword, and then main phase 2, pass. Did they just send their deck list? They sent a deck. They said, oops, end phase. That was meant for someone else. I was gonna say, this is like crazy BM, sending your opponent the deck list. Book a Lacrima into a Agumde, draw Ash Blossom. I guess I'll also put this down below in the description if you want to click on it and see what it was. Unless if it's not, like, seeable anymore. Agumde effect, go ahead, bring out Desiree in the draw phase. Main phase, Engraver, shuffle back Requiem, special summon out, and then turn Engraver into Requiem, and then Requiem effect, tribute to go special, and then they have to stop that, right? Otherwise they just lose. What? Yeah, they don't have any follow-up Engrave, so they have to stop that. So they Ash Blossom that, otherwise they just bring out Engraver, and then they can go like effect to equip, effect to send. Wait, that wouldn't be game. That's very close though. But I guess I just don't want them to send the token, but they can get rid of the token anyways. Requiem effect to equip, and then they just go battle phase, attack over. Yeah, having the Requiem equipped is the same thing as having sequence equipped, since this gives it 600 attack, on top of it being a link rating that gives it 600 attack. So go ahead, beat over the token, pass, they draw Engraver. So now they do have the Engraver graveyard effect that they can start with. So activate, shuffle back Desiree, special summon out. Then they have the Requiem effect to equip, Engraver effect to send, chain Desiree effect to shut that down. Then they go Engraver effect, we Ash Blossom that. Maybe we should have also let that go through. And then just Desiree effect, shuffle back, send. Because otherwise, what if they do like normal summon out like a random body or normal ice, right? Normal ice effect, we Ash it. And then they just go like Necro Quip, they can't make that, okay, but they can go Chaos Angel effect to banish the Desiree. And then, like, that's pretty tough. Like, you can't really deal with that. Yeah, you can't really deal with that anymore. Eventually, we'd be able to, like, out it. Probably. But okay, yeah, that's tough for them there. They also should have summoned this in defense. I guess it doesn't matter. If this doesn't, like, if we get stopped, we lose anyways. Because this does piercing. But I guess it wasn't even game right away, right? So we could have just, like, pass turn. And all they have is like Engraver, send special. I guess that is game. You can use this effect, send the Requiem, send, effect the re-equip, and then go battle phase game. I think I put my opponent on better do that though. Like put him on better not make a mistake at that point. Yeah, because that would be exactly game. Wow, that'd be unfortunate. So GG's. Okay, so now that's going to be it for the video. We end up seeing the Mitsurugi, I forget how to say it. Mitsurugi, go ahead and beat the Ryzeal Fiendsmith deck. Now, the Ryzeal Fiendsmith deck, or I should say Sean Killian, probably doesn't know the opponent's deck too well. Could have done some plays better, but that's a part of learning the new cards. It's like you're gonna mess up into them the first couple of times, and then once you start getting a hold of them, you're gonna stop making those mistakes. Like they're not gonna imprint King of the Feral Imps on the effect again in the future. They're gonna do it on summon. I think they realized their mistake and realized how they couldn't have improved on something like that, and just things like that, becoming better and better at playing against the deck. So decks like these become worse over time, but they also become better because they become more optimized. So people learn how to play against them better, but also people learn how to build the deck better. Because we still don't know if the way to build this deck is with the Fiendsmith stuff or not. Because we also didn't see Natter's Servant at all, and that card's pretty good in the deck. Because it is rituals. It's kind of like Voiceless Voice. You can use it to get Maximus, but also Maximus is a little bit weird too. Because, especially Maximus, late game, you make him dump Twins of the Eclipse, you allow him to get a Detonator and a Desiree send middle of the game. You just gave your opponent, 2 free pops and a send, out of nowhere, just to get yourself a draw and a search. That's not, I don't know, that's not very good. But I guess we'll find out in the future exactly how this deck will be built. But I've been working on it on my Twitch. And if you want to watch the stream highlights of those, I'll leave my stream highlight channel down below at the very top of the description also, if you want to go ahead and check that out, because I've been playing this deck myself also. That's why I know so much about the deck. I'm not too great with it yet, but I have practiced it some. The deck's not too hard. It's not too hard to play. And with that being said, the DB Grinder signing off. Peace. Have a nice day. Stay safe.